The results of the latest NFIB Small Business Optimism report are in. Let's get to Kate Rogers. She has the details on that. Kate, good morning.
Hi, Becky. Good morning. Optimism taking a slight dip of 2.6 points to 104.8. This is the third monthly decline in a row after hitting a new all-time high in August, and it's also one of the larger drops we've seen this year. Now, this month's read is still well above the index's historical average of 98. If you take a look at this wall, this is how Optimism has been tracking over the past year. Now, the biggest drops this month were in those who expect the economy to improve in the next 6 months and those who expect higher real sales, those who accounted for more than half of November's decline. There were no gains in segments this month as expected credit conditions and plans to create new jobs were both flat. Labor quality is still in the #1 spot yet again this month. It's respondents' single biggest issue at a record 25%. That's followed by taxes and government red tape and regulations. This, as we all know, has been the case for most of 2018. More than a third of business owners said they have job openings that they can't fill. Meanwhile, compensation increases were higher and plans to raise wages hit the highest levels since 1989. This all, of course, matches data from our own CNBC and SurveyMonkey data that was released yesterday showing that optimism is fading a bit for varying reasons, including economic concerns and issues with hiring. Back over to you.
Kate, what was the biggest factor again?
The biggest factor was a drop in those who expect the economy to improve in the next 6 months.
Or their own sales?
Yeah. And real sales, yeah.
And their own real sales.
Exactly.
So if you see a trade deal that is struck, I guess that takes some of the concerns off the table. If you hear more about the Fed potentially not raising rates next year, potentially that takes some off the table. How long does it usually take for an event to kind of work its way back through the optimism readings that we got?
We've been seeing varying things take this up a notch and down a notch throughout the year. Trade hasn't been showing up quite as much because a lot of these are traditional Main Street retailers that aren't necessarily doing deals overseas, whether it's importing or exporting. We did have trade data in our own CNBC and SurveyMonkey poll that we released yesterday, and we did see that trade did have a negative impact on that. So I think it all depends on what type of businesses you're polling. So that hasn't necessarily shown up in the NFIB's data as much.